Hello, I am Dr. Ashley Boggan with the General Commission on Archives and History. Thank you for joining us on this journey of healing as we learn about the Methodist involvement in the Sand Creek Massacre. In 1735, John Wesley set sail from England to the new colony of Georgia. His mission? To spread the gospel among the English settlers and indigenous peoples alike. But his time in America would prove to be both formative and fraught. Wesley arrived with high hopes of converting indigenous peoples, particularly the Muskogee Creek, whom he saw as untouched by European corruption. Inspired by early Christian ideals, he believed that they led a purer life, untainted by materialism. But Wesley's efforts to establish lasting relationships with the Creek were limited. Unlike later Methodist missionaries, Wesley's time with indigenous peoples was brief. His rigorous and formal approach to faith did not easily align with Creek spiritual traditions, which emphasized oral history, communal decision-making, and sacred relationships with the land. Scholars today divide Wesley's perspective on indigenous nations into three periods. The first period was here in Georgia and was his most naive. He adhered to the European colonialist belief that indigenous persons were noble savages. However, after conversing with them and seeing their spirituality firsthand, Wesley began to understand indigenous persons as fully human. After years of reading missionary journals and being exposed to various faiths around the world, Wesley finally believed in a universal eschatological understanding of humanity. That no matter our faith or practice, we will all be saved by the work of Christ done on the cross. While in Georgia, John Wesley never actually preached to any indigenous nations. This was largely due to political tension between England, who occupied Georgia, and the French and Spanish, who occupied other surrounding areas. The leaders of the Creek and the Yamacraw tribes were suspicious of Wesley's desire to teach them because they had already heard of Christianity from the French and the Spanish. Would Wesley's message be any different? In order to travel around the colony of Georgia, Wesley had to have the permission of Governor George Oglethorpe. However, Oglethorpe refused to let Wesley leave Savannah without a minister. So in the end, Wesley did not get much direct interaction with indigenous tribes. John Wesley's mission to the indigenous peoples of Georgia was brief, but it was a chapter in a much larger history, one of cultural exchange, misunderstanding, and resilience. His legacy and that of Methodism would continue to evolve, shaping both European and indigenous lives in ways that even he could not have foreseen.